Hopefully this is going to get the the actual notification through for Stream Link, and then we can get going for real. Yep, that has put that in. So we are actually live. Alright, give it a couple of minutes. I am on a very, very tight schedule this time round, so we will quarter two we will start this regardless of who hasn't joined. And all that jazz, because after I've done this I've got to do tier 1 F1. So we will be rolling through a bunch of stuff today. I did tier 5 comms earlier for those who didn't watch. Keep it in my headset on my wheel. That's probably not the smartest idea on planet Earth. Definitely not the smartest idea I've ever had. I'll say that much. But yeah, so did tier 5 for this earlier. Doing tier 2 now. So that will caught me up to the halfway point in the season. Then probably do both Barcelonas tomorrow. Hopefully. Doing the very least one Barcelona tomorrow. But yeah. So, go through the grid. Let's see who did what in qualifying then. So we have, I believe that's Honey Badger, right? Yes, the orange on the Mercedes is the Honey Badger. So Honey Badger is on pole. He's got OG alongside him, and it's 1,000 laps. We got Bosnian in third, Turbo Boy in fourth, Elian in fifth, Faxid in sixth, Dude in seventh. Those two have been very much intertwined this season. Let's see if that continues on. We've got Tepos, who is in 8th, Mortal in 9th, who seems to have fallen off quite drastically from the beginning of the season. It looked like he was going to be in cruise control of the championship through the first couple of weeks, but slowly but surely has started to trail off toward the midpoint of the season. You got Pasty in 10th. And he has just not got going with that Subaru at any point this entire season, albeit we're on round 4. Ross in 11th, never usually qualifies well, but usually races a lot better. Nectar in 12th, who's starting to find a footing in Tier 2, but been a little bit underwhelming in the tier so far. Perry, another one of those that just cannot get qualifying right and just cannot get enough going when it comes to racing. And even in the Porsche, he's just not having a good time of it. And then we've got Asseldor, who's starting at the back of the grid. Everyone on soft, we're on the sprint. Yeah, it's got a couple of red lights on the screen there. And yeah, 15 minutes about to go on the clock. And here we're going to get going right about now. So, 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go. Who's going to get a better start down towards turn 1? It looked like OG's got a better start than Honey Badger has. And same with Bosnian. Bosnian's on the inside here. We got a little bit of a tap. Let's see if we can get a good camera angle. These three going round. And it's Bosnian that's going to take the lead out of the first corner. Then you've got Honey Badger. It's Mercedes 1-2 out of the first corner. OG suffering a little bit of a problem there. Going down to third. You've got Elliot who's gone up to fourth. Turbo Boy not getting off too well either. Dude up to 6th, which is just his perennial spot. We've got... It looks like everyone survived through... everyone but Asseldor survived through the death chicane on lap 1. Oh gee. Okay, let's have a little look at that one again. We got down into the hill. Well, down to the bottom of the hill. Let's see, Elliot up the inside. Elliot still there. A little bit of a switchback here. Attempt from Moji is that's a bit wild. That is a bit wild. Say at the very least. Turbo Boy up the inside, looking to make it work. trying to take advantage of the mistake from both the drivers in front of him and does so to take third place so far in the sprint as the two Mercedes are gone. The battle between OG and Elian has opened up a significant gap for the two Mercedes at the front of this grid. And yeah, going into the beginning of the final sector for the first time, Turbo Boy in third, OG in fourth. He's not got full control of that car. Someone's had a bit of a nightmare. So what on earth is going on here? What on earth is going on here? Well, let's get a good look at this. We headed up the straight. We're headed back up the hill into the third sector. We saw this from the other angle. Here comes our Faxid. Oh, Mortal's into the back of our Faxid. And then taken to... Oh my god, and Tepos taps him round. That is just an absolute cluster. It's a cluster of people. Our Faxid coming off the worst after being hit by Mortal and then tapped by Tepos as well. I assume that one's going to go to the stewards. That is one hell of an incident there at the beginning of lap 2. At the end of lap 1, sorry. And trying to figure out where we actually are now. Here comes OG versus Turbo Boy. These two going side by side again. Turbo Boy had the advantage of the last time we saw. He still had the advantage now. OG not able to go to the inside to cut that, to try and switch back that. So Turbo Boy hold on to his third place with for dear life right now as we head towards the death chicane. OG is going to be sensible enough to stay behind. We're going to continue to go through. Oh, and I think that's Honey Badger. Honey Badger has had a massive mistake there at the dash chicane. He's had a bit of a problem and he's thankfully got off the track, allowed for everyone to go on by safely and not harm anyone else in the process. So we continue on. Turbo Boy's now in second, OG third, Ellie in fourth. These lot fighting for the second step on the podium as Bosnian is currently in the distance. One of them is the Mercedes had a 1-2 in hand if they wanted it. A bit of a mistake there from Honey Badger. Seen that go to complete shit and really isn't going to go very far at this point. He's dropped all the way out the top 8, that at the very least. And OG just does not look like he has complete control over his car through the final sector. Here comes Ross on the inside of Mortal. That Porsche definitely better than the Viper, and Ross is showing it there. A decent move there by Ross. Mortal with the acceleration on that Viper is going to try and fight this back immediately. Let's see if he can get it. And it looked like on the inside, down toward the line, and Ross is just going to slip back behind the Mortal. Had the run, had the acceleration, and got the move. Here comes Ross to the inside of turn 1. He's not giving up yet. Mortal going against Ross, and he's going to lose out into turn 1. He had him for a split second. He tried it. He got him for a split second. Then Ross just fired back immediately. Here comes side by side down into the dash chicane. This is going to be a interesting proposition. And I think they came together ever so slightly there, but both somehow survived through the dash chicane. That's a pretty impressive drive from the two of them to make it through that corner 2 wide. And Tepos is also trying to put himself involved here now. It looks like someone's had a bit of a nightmare there. Nectar is the guy that dropped back, and Nectar's going to have a go, be under fire from Perry now. Let's see if Perry's got anything to overtake with as we go into the middle sector, into the S's, and Perry is not going to go for it. Perry is not going to be able to get to that one, so Nectar holds on, and Asseldor is ahead of Honey Badger as we continue to stroll closer toward the front of the grid. Tepos right at the back of Ross, and Mortal still leading this little battle here. And I don't think he'll be the last we'll see of Ross versus Mortal in this race. And I say that as here comes Ross to the inside again, and on the final chicane again. Ross is just absolutely blowing Mortal to shreds, and he's getting a really good braking done there, and we'll see if Mortal can come back again down the straight. Maybe Ross is going one corner too early. Mortal now on the inside again, down towards turn 1, has himself a little bit in front of Ross, but Ross on the inside, is he going for this one too? He will go for this one too. Ross is now back in front, and again, these two back and forth, and Ross able to get past Mortal this time and stick the landing. until right now, until they go side by side again into the actually no, Mortal's going to back out of the two. Oh, why did Ross has got into the Ross has got into the dash chicane? Oh no! And after all that battling, all the hard work from the two of them, it was all undone in a matter of seconds. Ross getting overtaken now by the dude, as the dude makes a quadruple overtake there. Both the Porsches, I think that was Nectar and Pasty as well. A quadruple overtake there by the dude, just picking up on mistakes and taking the opportunity while he can. We're still going to take a quick look at the battle here, actually. You have Ross versus Pasty and the Nectar here as well. Nectar's been forced a little bit wide there. And onto the grass as well, and Nectar's gone. Nectar's in the wall. Nectar is in the wall as Ross and Pasty are now going at each other. It looks like Ross is going to have a little bit of control over this battle now, as he has finally got past Pasty. A little bit of grass cut up there by Pasty. And we got our Faxon versus Honey Badger in the background here as well. Ross doesn't have to make a dive this time because he's already got the move. Well before the final chicane, you got Asseldor here in 6th and Mortal in 5th. Mortal finally has a bit of clear air after his couple of lap battle with Ross, as it was quite spectacular, to be completely fair, to Ross and to Mortal. They would say a pretty good run of that one. Let's see if we go towards the front and see anything. So Bodney is still comfortably in the lead, and now we've got Turbo Boy from OG from L. Ian, as I see if these three can create something for us to something interesting for us to watch toward the front. The mid pack has definitely been doing that so far. The mid pack is still not heavily separated at all. Here comes Elliot on OG. Is he going to go to the inside here? He is not going to go to the inside here. And we're going to go very quickly further back to see if anything happened not there. And Dude still has it from Perry, then Ross, and Team Dorsch is starting to form a little bit of a lice here. Pasty's had a bit of a problem. He lost out to both our Faxon and to Honey Badger. As Honey Badger's having a little bit of a mess here as well through this through the S's in this sector, but he's hung it in there regardless, and Pasty is not going to be able to do anything about it. Oh, Perry going a little bit deep there. Ross might be invited to try and make something work on his teammate. But right now, it's more the case of can they get it, will these three work together to try and get to the three in front? And it looks like the answer to that is so far yes. Perry right behind the dude as they're going to go down towards turn 1 now. And they're going into lap 6 with these guys at the moment. They're, yep, 1:39.9 for Perry. Is Dude's gonna hold on to that position against Perry. It seems like these three are trying to make a little bit of teamwork together here. As in front we've got Asseldor and Tepos also fighting it out. Mortal has cleared a little bit of a gap. And at these three further forward, here comes Elian on OG down the inside, and I think that's a bit of a push to pass. He's definitely squeezed him off the track. He's definitely not giving him any sort of room there whatsoever for OG to respond to that. Elian getting in front nonetheless. And Elian takes 3rd place off of OG. I don't think OG is going to be too happy with the manner that happened. We'll wait and see. And oh, you got the front three. They're fighting, but not really anything going to happen here. Continue to watch toward the back and toward the midfield. Sorry, and Dude still hangs on from Perry, and then Ross there and thereabouts as well. And I think there's someone else trying to put himself into the mix. So yeah, it's our Faxon trying to put himself into the mix as well. Pasty, followed by Nectar, followed by oh, Honey Badger's in the wall. Let's have a quick look at that. Oh, he's just got off. He's just, there's no, yeah, he's just straight into the wall. No real control over the car there whatsoever. Until we see his teammate, we go to the complete polar opposite to the team. Bodney in cruise control through 6. Got to the front, never looked back. It took him pretty much 2 corners to get himself a firm grip on this race. And has realistically not looked back since that point. Turbo Boy has cleared Elliott as well, as Elliott is still under fire from OG. And OG has tried to make this his home for the last couple of races. He's definitely put in the work, to say that much. He's done an absurd amount of tire laps in the grand scheme of things, especially for this and for Barcelona, which is the next race I need to catch up on. And it looks like Elliott has got a little bit of a gap there in the BMW compared to the GTR. We saw the Tier 5 earlier, it was the opposite way round. The GTRs were in cruise control around here, but this time it's BMW winning over the GTRs, but the Mercedes in complete control. We'll see how long that lasts for. We got Mortal ahead of Vasseldorf, sorry, and then Tepos as well, but they all seem to be separated by roughly the same amount and nowhere near an overtake. With dudes still hanging on from Perry and Ross, it's not sure if this is them catching up at this point and working together, or dude holding up the Porsches. I'm not entirely sure. It probably is the former, but they're not getting very far with it. See whether or not anything is going to happen here. Yeah, dude still seems to be hanging on from Perry at the moment. Let's see if we've got anything else in front of us. No, we have not. We'll go back to this battle here then. Turbo Boy ahead of Elian versus ahead of OG. These three fighting for second place, because there's still no mistake from Bodnian out in front. And we're going through it looked like a little bit deep there from Turbo Boy, maybe just scraping the wheel wall a little bit. Just needs to drive safely. He should get himself a second place on the board. Elliott is closing him down really well now, and OG got an excellent exit up the hill, and that might bring a bit of a defensive maneuver here from Elliott instead of an attacking one on Turbo. Here comes OG on the outside. Will he go for this? No, he will not. It's just a very deceiving camera angle, as Elliott is continuing to hold on to that third place. It looks like OG trying his best to try and find a way through, not really getting an open door right now. Elliott going a bit deep there at the beginning of the third sector, but it's not really made too much of a difference because he's getting the slip from Turbo Boy in front, and that's just how tugging him along at this point. Elliott makes that a bit of a mess of that corner, that chicane, and this might be the open door that OG needed. Is he going to go round the outside now, or he looked to the outside at the very least? And I don't think it's opened as much as I thought it had. No, it hasn't. OG has got a lot of slipstream. He's got slightly alongside, or was very, very momentarily alongside there. He's trying to go underneath and doesn't really have any opportunity to do so. And Turbo Boy is still going to head off from Elliott from OG. And further back, you've got Mortal from Asseldor, who's still going there and thereabouts. Tepos is 7th, dude. Still hanging on from Perry, and then Ross behind him. And then Pasty is still ahead of Nectar. There's these lot out of our Faxon pit. Our Faxon pit. Why? He was actually fighting on the back of Ross. That doesn't make any sense to me. And then also the pit stop for Honey Badger as well. He was tailed off last, so there was no real way back into it for him anyway. And Turbo has got very much away from Alien here, and OG as well. Those three have been battling the entire way, but it's not really no real trouble here for Turbo Boy. And Alien, after squeezing OG, has done a pretty good job of defending OG for the rest of this race as well. We've got about 15 seconds left on the clock. Will they make it to the line? I'm not entirely sure if they will, you know. I know for a fact Bodnian will, because Bodnian has now just got over the line to get on to lap number 10. Is he going to be the only one? Turbo Boy to the line now. 50, we're in the 15th minute, and that is Turbo Boy coming over the line for second place. Ian third, OG fourth, Mortal's going to get over the line for fifth. Asseldor will get sixth over Tepos in the end. Dude will get 8th, and Perry 9th, Ross 10th. He's got Nectar in 11th. He overtook Pasty in the end. Pasty's going to try and force it back. He's got a lot short amount of time to get it done, and doesn't in fact get it done. Nectar's going to get 11th, Pasty 12th, back to 13th, and Honey Badger is going to be the one that tails everything off, as he is currently in 14th and heading towards the final sector now, on a what could be definitely said as a really bad sprint at the office for Honey Badger here in his orange and white Mercedes. He comes over the line for 14th, and then we get to watch what is a victory lap here for Bosnian. Got in front on turn 1, never looked back. Comfortable of a win as a comfortable wins get. I don't think there was a single person that threatened him outside of his own teammate before his own teammate made the mistake. Oh, his own teammate crashed. I don't know if it was a mistake or incident or whatever, but it was nonetheless a very easy race at the office here for Bosnian, who wins by a landslide in the sprint here, and he will take that in the first race of Dragon Trail. It doesn't get much easier than that. Let's see if he can roll that on into the feature. Even though his teammate, who is extremely good at times, is starting on the reverse grid pole. I think the reverse grids are being altered next season, which is an interesting concept to see how we alter that to prevent that kind of medium pit stop that we just saw, especially when you're fighting people, right? I don't understand that. I guess people are just valuing the the further forward start compared to the points, I guess, or the lower points end of sprint. Alright, that's it, downloading now, so I'm going to take a very quick drink, get me through this one, and get me through this 40 minutes, and then give myself, hopefully, a 10-minute break before I have to do F1. If you guys are interested in watching that, please do. That one is live, will be live, the post-cons, obviously, for the races. Some of us are doing other things as well, but yeah. So the channel's got things going as it stands. I hope for the people in the stream, the mic quality has been better, I guess is the word of saying it. Hopefully it's enough that is clear enough that people can hear me without crackling, to put some shots of the tier 2 and tier 5. Not had that for the first half of the season. But yeah, if it's peaking at any point, please do let me know. I can move my mic further away from my face. But yeah, I'm just still also testing my mic at this point as well, because I do have to. Mic is fine and dandy. Like, nice. Looks like I've got that sorted then. All right, let's go. Let's roll through the grid very quickly before we get this one underway for the 40 minutes. And all right, so one of the very few to have the qualifying pole and the reverse grid pole. The Honey Badger on the mediums at the front, Faxid on mediums at the front as well. Pasty on softs in the Subaru in third is an interesting call. Nectar learning from Sardinia and put himself on the medium tyres in that BMW at the in fourth. And you got Ross in 5th on mediums, and Perry in 6th, and same with Dude. All 3 of those on the mediums. Dude in 7th. Tepos in 8th on the mediums as well. Asseldor, everyone at the back here will be on the medium tyres. So it's Asseldor 9th, Mortal 10th, OG in 11th, Felian in 12th, Turbo in 13th, and Bosnian at the rear of the grid after winning the sprint in convincing fashion. All right, let's get this going. So you just see these rolling toward the line. 3, 2, 1, and it's off. Now we get to go toward turn 1. Let's see who gets a better start. Will it be Honey Badger or will it be our Faxon? Honey Badger looked like he's got off to a flying start here. Not at all challenged into turn 1. And our Faxon unchallenged as well, as he currently is in 2nd. Pasty survived the challenge from Nectar, as Nectar did in fact get a better start than that Subaru heading into turn 1, but as that's the BMW way for you as we go through the first of the death chicane. That's Pasty in a wall, and that's Nectar off the track entirely. Pasty got away with one, Nectar did not. Ross is going to go down the inside of Pasty now as a result. Ross going for the move, and Ross gets the move, but the Dude is up into 5th as well. Perry into 6th, where he started. Tepos in 7th at the moment as well. Asseldor losing. Asseldor is actually, I think, he's gained a couple of positions there. In 8th, Morton 9th. And the big loser there was Nectar. Nectar getting the dash chicane all wrong, as he is now posted to the back of this grill. Mortal's gone as well. I want a replay of that. I want to see what happened here against for Mortal. He goes through the middle of this S section. What is he gone off the track? He just made a mistake here. Did he get hit? Oh, I think he just made a mistake. I think he was more following the line. Tepos also making a little bit of a mistake there as well, but Tepos holding it, actually overtaking Perry in the process. And Asseldor also trying to make something stick, but not really getting to do so. And you got the Dude versus Ross here. So again, once again, Viper versus Porsche. That seems to be quite the sustained battle in this tier. Oh, something else has happened over here. Tepos is gone. But it looks like it may have been a little bit of an incident here. We go down into the chicane. There's a little bit of contact there. Tepos. Oh, Tepos has just got it all wrong. Oh, he's just got it all wrong. He's got too much throttle on the outside there, and he's doing 360s for days. He's doing his best ballerina impression on the side there to see if he, with the 360s, see if he can get himself back into this. Here comes Bosnian on OG, and all the guys at the front of the grid from earlier on are starting to make their way through already, because everyone and anyone is making mistakes through this grid. Already got one there for Nectar, already got one for Tepos as well. Those two at the back of the grid right now. We go through the dash chicane again. It looks like everyone is surviving for now. Albeit it didn't look like Asseldor was doing it very well, but he does survive nonetheless, as we got Turbo Boy here against Elian. Elian on the outside, Turbo on the inside. Turbo's going to have this one following the moment in time, but Elian's going to get a nice little exit. Maybe enough to draw alongside. Bosnian also going after OG. We'll see what happens, but these two are currently alongside, so are the two in front. Turbo Boy holds on to the position there, and OG holding on to the position in front of him as well. No overtakes made into the beginning of the S's. And it's not the worst thing in the world there to save your own skin just to hold off for another lap. You've got to get the moves done at some point. And it looks like we're just meandering along a little bit. Everyone is roughly around the same kind of distance away from each other. At this point in time, Ross is clear, Pasty is clear as well, and Alfaxon and Honey Badger are off in the distance at this point in time. Honey Badger on the medium tyres as well is in cruise control this one at the start through 2. We're going through the dash chicane again. Everyone roughly around the same, but no real overtaking opportunities. So the first two through without any sort of harm, and same for the first 4. Dude gets through as well. Perry and Hasseldor also through the dash chicane. I don't think we've had any casualty on lap 3. We have not had any casualties on lap 3. Hasseldor going a bit deep though into the bottom of the hill, and that will hinder any chance he'll get at Perry here. As we now come back up of the hill into the S's section, and we'll roll on through, see if anything is going to happen in terms of overtakes. It looked like Hasseldor may have gone after Perry for a split second there, and it's still going after Perry. Let's see if anything can happen here. Perry on the inside, Hasseldor on the outside. It's the RCZ versus the Porsche, and the Porsche on the inside line. OG getting a little bit of a handful of that as well. But OG had a bit of a mistake, and that's going to allow for Bosnian to go on through. Bosnian overtaking OG there, as OG was just a bit overzealous, trying to go after Hasseldor and or Perry. I think he was trying to follow through the hole that Perry was creating, and it didn't pull it off and sacrificed the position instead. So Bosnian now ahead of the guy he beat in the first race as well. And here comes Hasseldor on the outside here, Perry, and then Bosnian on the inside as well. It looked like Bosnian's just going to hang in there for a little while longer, mostly defending from OG rather than attacking Hasseldor, and we've got a Perry train forming here. Perry's going to be the lead of this train. It also looks like we haven't had any more casualties at the moment in time around the dash chicane either. Tier 2 taking the dash chicane well for the moment, and OG on the inside here against Bosnian, and OG's going to fire straight back. They're still side by side. Is this going to happen? They're going up the hill now into the S's section. Bosnian's on the inside, which is probably the better line. Let's see if he can hang, and OG is still there, and OG might be in front. They're going to go around the final of the S's. They're still there, and OG's off the track. OG is off the track, and that's going to allow for Bosnian to go back through. It was a very tense battle there to see who could and couldn't keep on the track through the S's section. Oh, OG is slightly losing control of his car now and dropped to 10th. Belly and got in front of him. Turbo Boy not that far off in the distance either. Hasseldor has cleared the following pack a little bit. Perry. Oh, our Faxon in the wall. What has happened to our Faxon? Pasty got by. Pasty got past our Faxon, and our Faxon. Oh, grass. You don't want to do that there. Yeah, that will do it. That will absolutely do it. And there goes our Faxon into the wall. And you don't want to be doing too many of those. And as he's just getting through the first 5 laps now. There's been a few interesting battles. Here comes Elian on Bosnian now, and Elian on the inside of Bosnian making it work, and up into 7th place goes Elian, who's I think he'll take that. That was a pretty good move there on Bosnian down into turn 1. It looked like he very slightly caught Bosnian out of shape, and Bosnian is now going to have to defend from OG through the dash chicane and through the exit of the dash chicane. Those two look like they came together. Here comes Bosnian on the inside. OG, a little bit of a switchback as Bosnian goes deep, and that is beautiful. That is beautiful. OG with a little bit of the switchback, the awareness to realize that Bosnian was going to go deep and sacrifice the extra entry line on the corner of OG did to get the exit, and it was absolutely magnificent to get that place back, and up into 7th he goes. Elian's still there. Hasseldor's been dropped a bit back, same with Perry, and the chasing pack is starting to close in. Dude just in front of these two here as well. They're going through and toward the end of 5. So, Honey Badger in the lead by a considerable margin. And not really much to deal with against that against him at this point in time. Also on the medium tyres, looks to be in complete cruise control. But at the end of the day, this is Dragon Trail, and that dash chicane is in fact lethal. So There's a lot that still can happen. Here comes Elian, and sorry, against OG, and OG looks to take a wide line, maybe swing back, but nowhere near enough in order to make the trouble, make anything worth troubling Elian there. It looks like everything is continuing to be fine here. Oh, that did not look great. A little bit of a slide into the dash chicane for someone in front there. Also got Ross ahead of Pasty. Ross has been brought back into this. In fact, he might have even been in front of all this to begin with, but he's got himself into second place at this point in time, and given the fact that Honey Badger is gone, this is pretty good for these guys in this race so far. Here comes Ross, a little bit of a slight movement there, trying to catch Pasty off guard. And I think he almost did so. Pasty manages to save the car. Here comes Pasty on the outside. Pasty's on the soft, remember. Ross is on the mediums. Ross is going on the inside now. Can he hold it? Pasty's gone on the curb. That's probably not the smartest idea in the world. And now to the outside. He's going to go and be a lawnmower for about 10 seconds there, Pasty, and it's going to cost him big time. And that means Ross is going to get that second position and hold that second position. Oh, until now, where Ross just hits the inside curb. And you don't want to be doing a lot of that. The inside curb unsettling that Porsche, and that allows for Pasty to just walk through the open door and take second place back. And Dude also trying to get himself involved now. He is catching up with the two in front. Same with Perry, and so is Asseldor by extension. We have Bodnian and OG. Bodnian is ahead of OG, and Elian has had a bit of a nightmare here, I think, as he dropped a couple of positions there. So, Bodnian versus OG is the continuous battle from start to finish at this one. It was also the battle in the first corner of the sprint race that didn't really last an awful long. Bodnian had the benefit of his teammate at that point. He does not have the benefit of his teammate now. And try not to choke on anything there. We currently have Asseldor trying to go after Perry, and Dude got in front of Pasty as well in the process, as he's going to try and hunt down Ross again. Here comes Perry on the outside here of Pasty. Pasty's having a bit of a troublesome time now on the soft. So a little bit of a squeeze, a little bit of contact there, but Perry's going to go on through without question. Here comes Asseldor, try and make it work as well. Asseldor sees a hole. Will he be able to fit himself through it? He will not, even though he is currently teleporting the entire way across the track. And he actually will get in front because Pasty's made another mistake. Pasty on the inside there has decided he doesn't like driving and dropped all the way down to 9th. Got too much of the inside curve and it's just let everyone go. Here comes Bodnian and OG for round number 5. Here to going into turn 1. Bodnian still holding on. OG just trying to let him know he's there, but Bodnian is well aware of OG's situation and able to hold it nonetheless. Someone's having a bit of a mare there. I keep forgetting that Asseldor is teleporting, not actually in a wall. Here comes Perry looking to the inside of the Dude, but doesn't get it. The Dude's acceleration is going to be absurd in some of these corners. And as shown there, just blasting away from the Porsche up the hill. Until that, you get a little bit too much to the inside. Maybe Perry followed him a little bit there, as they're now going through the S's, and Dude should have a little bit of more comfortable on that. Here comes Bodnian on Asseldor. Bodnian still on the outside of Asseldor. They come up the hill. Will Asseldor hold the position to the outside? Well, to the inside, sorry, and he will. He will hold it. He's just about survived the onslaught from Bodnian here. And I don't think it's going to be done. Here comes Bodnian again, but it won't be into this final chicane, but more probably into turn 1 than anything else. Asseldor, as Bodnian has started to break away from the two behind him a little bit. Elian had a little bit of a struggle on the exit of the second to last there. And he doesn't really want to drift too far off the back of OG and Bodney in here, because they're the main rivals in this one, for sure. Here comes Asador, who's just on the inside of Perry, and it's impossible to tell whether he's actually going for Perry or whether he's not. Bodnian's going to hold on as well. Bodnian probably not too happy with the teleporting. See if he can try and get past Asador at some point. We go through the dash chicane once more. It doesn't look like anyone's been claimed by the dash chicane here. Asador still behind Perry, and Perry is still behind the dude who is still behind Ross, but albeit Ross is a little bit further in the distance now. It looked like someone's just gone for that. OG just went for Bodnian, and I want a replay of that overtake. Bodnian getting a little bit caught up here in the dash chicane. OG's got a good run. He'd gone to the inside, did no contact. It looked like there may have been a slight bit of contact, but I think OG would have got the move done with or without it. The Bodnian went deep, OG went shallow, and shallow turned out to be the better line there. Alien also now being brought back into the fold as a result more. And you get to the guys that have had problems so far in this one. Looks like past DNF. Turbo Boys currently sit to the back, and then you've got Nectar in 12th, Tepos 11th, Mortal in 10th, are factored in 9th, but we haven't got a camera angle on that Jaguar. There he is, and 8th is Elian, who's just a little bit dropping off the back of the rest of the pack. The rest of the pack being 2nd through 7th. Ross through Bodnian, as Bodnian has an OG problem now. OG had an Asador problem as well. Let's see if he can dispatch that problem relatively quickly. And they're going down the straight now towards the end of the lap, onto lap 10 and then turn 1 of lap 10. And now we head down. Here comes OG on Asador. OG on the outside, Asador on the inside. Oh, a little bit of contact there from Bodnian as he was unable to judge where everyone was going. OG still on the inside, but backs out of it because he realizes that going too wide in the dash chicane is in fact a death sentence. And I also wouldn't trust where Asador is, given what I'm seeing at this point in time. Perry, who's also still there, dude. Oh, and Asador's gone deep! Asador is there still, apparently. Okay, Gabe. You sure? Are you sure? Am I seeing things, or...? Okay, that's a teleport and a half, I'll say that much. Yeah, so it turns out OG is still having an Asador problem, and Asador's got a Perry problem, and Perry's got a dude problem. So we've got very much a train forming, a 4-5-way train at this point in time. Alien is trying to make it a 6-way. Oh, there goes OG to the inside of us. It's again trying to figure out whether or not he's actually made the move or not. Feels it doesn't turn out that's not the case. Well, Ross has started to get a little bit clear of the dude as well. He's started to pick up the pace a little bit as Honey Badger is literally a third of the track in the distance. He is definitely on fire in this race in particular, Honey Badger, because he took the pit stop and ended last in the sprint, and he was on pole originally, so this is not an unexpected outcome at all to this race. And Ross is still very much clear of the dude as the dude continues to go around. Here comes the dash chicane again. Oh! And this time I think he might have actually had a problem. Asador has had a problem this time. He has dropped all the way to 8th. A little bit one too many hits, one to the rear, one to the front. And it's completely done him in. Also, Bodnian overtaken by Elian here as well. On the inside of the corner at the bottom of the hill, the end of the first sector. So, Bodnian didn't gain anything, but Elian gained 2, and I don't think he's going to be complaining an awful lot with that. OG, the next car in front. Dude and Perry try to hang each other as well at this point, as they're going round the side, round each other into the first of the corners in the third sector. And the dude holds on against Perry, heading down this straight into the final chicane. OG currently sitting behind these two, and after being someone who actually sat in the party while these two are racing, I know what's going to come next. Here comes the move. And it looked like, yeah, and Perry, the conversation at the party at this point was extremely interesting. Perry pulled out. OG's going to try and follow through the hole, and then realizes that the gap to the right and to the left-hand side. And here we go, down towards turn 1. Will OG make it? And it's collided with the dude. And he's got, I think dude's collected Perry as well. And they've both got off. Perry's luckily got away with it, only lost a couple of positions, but dude is off the track entirely. Ouch. Ouch indeed, and that was obviously going to go to the stewards. There's a lot of an interesting thought that one as Bodnian takes full advantage of Elian going off the track there. Elian just sent that so deep and was made to pay a very big price for that. As Bodnian is now gone by, and now Elian has a Bodnian problem all over again. And OG is now set up in third. Let's see if OG can go after Ross. Ross currently sat in second place. And then you got Perry behind. And then you got Asseldorf behind that. Oh, Bodnian having a little bit of a slide there. Out of the first 90-degree right left-hander in the third sector. Can't be affording too many of those mistakes if you want to get back to where your teammate is. Your teammate quite comfortably in the lead right now. No one's going to catch him without a mistake on his own part. We'll need to figure out whether or not what people are going to do down the straight here. Someone is heading into the pits. We're on lap 12, and that is a medium tyre coming off the car of Asseldorf. Is there anyone else's pit? Tepos' pit, our Faxid's pit. No for Nectar Immortal. Turbo Boy, I think, hasn't pit either? Not entirely sure. I think he might have, but I think I'm fragments. I'll wait and see. Here we go. We go back toward the front. Perry on the back of this little group of this little battle between Elian and Bodnian. As OG is starting to pull a little bit of a gap. And we'll just see whether or not Elian's got enough in the tank here, because I don't think Bodnian's going to let up anytime soon. Bodnian's got probably just slightly, it depends what tyre you're looking at, I think, for some of these cars. I think Bodnian's got slightly better tyres though than Elian, and that would explain the Elian just dropping off the back a little bit here. And Bodnian's got enough room that if you want to go after OG, probably could. He needs to get control on the exit of those corners though. He's not having a fun time on the 90-degree right-handers. Getting the throttle down there is seemingly causing his car to slide just a little bit, and that's bringing Elian back in at every opportunity. That's again, he's just getting on the throttle probably a little bit too soon for his own comfort. As now we're going to head toward the pit stops. Honey Badger comes in, Ross is in, Bodnian is in, Elian is in, Perry has gone in too, and Bodnian's got no fuel. OG stayed out for just just a touch longer as we go into lap 14 of this race. We're currently 22 minutes through the 40-minute feature, and well, currently OG has the lead, but we all know that Net P1 is currently in the hands of Honey Badger, who currently sits in on track P3. Bodnian, the dude's also coming out. Oh, the dude, I think dude just jumped Bodnian. Bodnian had a ton of fuel to put in. He did just jump, but they're still inside of each other. How long are they going to, they really like the inside of each other. They say that much as they're going down toward the dash chicane, and I think this is just a mutual agreement at this point that they just do not move outside of each other, as our Faxid is in the wall. Our Faxid is the next victim of the dash chicane. The dude gets overtaken by Bodnian in the end. We'll see if there's any sort of recourse up the hill. Tepos also trying to get himself involved now as well. Perry's just out in front of those, and then you've got Asseldor and Elian, both of which are pit. Everyone up to, I think Turbo Boy and OG might be the only ones not to pit so far, but I'm not entirely sure of the Turbo Boy's status in this race as we go through lap 14. OG is now in the pits. OG is now in the pits, so we'll see where he comes out against Elian, because that was where he was fighting before. He was in front of Elian before. He, quite frankly, hasn't got a shot of getting Honey Badger, who's now past the pits. OG probably doesn't have much of a chance of getting Ross either. We'll see how much he decides to put in terms of fuel. And down the line, Ross should be free here. And Ross is going to be free here. Yeah, Ross is going to get out well in front of OG. OG, on the other hand, is out in front of Elian. So OG is in net P3 now, I believe. Turbo Boy is running out of fuel, and running out of fuel very, very quickly. And also doesn't have that much of a lead here on Honey Badger, who is absolutely flying. Cruise control of this one, from start to finish up to this point. We'll wait and see whether or not whether or not there's a mistake or two in store here for Honey Badger. Then you got Ross, who's currently in third. And quite frankly, in a world of his own too, he's not really got much of a problem here, as we're on lap 15 of this race and 25 minutes through. Is Ross being 15 minutes with 15 minutes left in quite a commanding position for a top two possibly. You know, OG in fourth definitely had arguably one of the overtakes of the day on Elian at the bottom of the hill in the end of sector 1. Beginning of sector 2, Turbo Boy is now in the pits, ran out of fuel, so you'll see where he comes out. You know, Elian trying to fight up against OG, is not really getting a lot closer, and Asseldor currently sitting himself in 6th as well. See if whether or not he can get something to stick sooner rather than later. And then you got Bodnian, who's going against Perry here. Bodnian against Perry. Perry on the inside. And Perry's got a little bit of a run here. Can he get it? Can he get it into the dash chicane? They're side by side. They're still side by side. Are they still going to go? It looked like Perry might back out. Perry has, in fact, backed out. And Bodnian will hold that position against Perry, as Perry gave that all he could into turn 1. And yeah, it was pretty good defending from Perry, who almost lost all of his car there. Just about saved it, just about gets away with it. At the end of the day, he's dancing with fire, and you don't want to get burnt. He already had one that had been a part of an incident in this race. In the back, no one really going after each other, everyone separated. And then you got these guys, 9th, 8th and 7th for about a half second, maybe a second, split from each other. No real overtaking opportunities available here. I don't think there's real overtaking opportunities available anywhere on the track right now. They're all seemingly separated by about a second, maybe a second and some change. Or a couple of seconds in the case of the battle we're currently watching. Honey Badger is still in complete control, to the point where he could probably hit the dash chicane and be completely fine now. We'll wait and see whether or not that will be the case. We're on to lap 17 now. It'll be 24 in tier 2. We saw, I think it was just Waluigi getting onto lap 24 earlier on. Or maybe that's the sprint. I can't remember. I know there was a very minute number of people in the end. OG's got a second penalty, which is an impressive feat in itself around here. There's not really a place you can get a penalty unless you're cutting onto sausage curbs, and not the actual Dragon Trail curbs here. that are very, very evident on the sides of on the inside of basically every single corner on the track. But we'll continue to watch as Ross is still ahead of OG for the moment in time, and is still in complete control of the second place, as much in control as Honey Badger's been in control of the first place on the grid as well. You got OG followed by Elian, and Elian will overtake OG on this penalty. We'll wait and see where the penalty line is. I haven't actually seen the necessity to use it here in their penalty line, so we'll see where that leaves OG. OG is going to get overtaken here by Elian. Is Asseldor going to get him as well? Is OG going to get up to speed quick enough? Asseldor's going to go after him. He's going to get really close, and I don't think OG's got enough up to speed quick enough to get this one. And Asseldor is going to get by as well down into turn 1, and he got it done before turn 1 even hit. Was fully car in front. By that point, Bodnian still in 6th, trying to make something work after winning the first race. His teammate is in cruise control of the second, and Asseldor, for some reason, Asseldor's just all over the place. Oh, Elian screwed up! Elian has screwed up! And we're going to have a quick look at this. I think Elian is the next victim of the dash chicane. As you go through, he's got there, and he's just... Oh, he's gone too far to the outside. He hit the wall. Not the actual dash chicane itself, but the wall on the outside. Too much power here for Elian, and pays the price of 3 positions as a result. OG from Anton and Bodnian all overtaking Elian there in this one, and Elian has a substantial amount of damage as well. Enough damage that it might bring Dude back into this one sooner rather than later. Tepos behind the Dude by a considerable margin. What happened to Perry here? Perry's now back in 11th. So Perry must have had a bit of a problem as well. Factored in 10th, Turbo in 9th, Tepos in 8th as it stands. You know, Dude in 7th. Elian and the battle for 4th and 3rd right now, because Bodnian is closing in on Asseldor. And Asseldor is being a thorn in OG's side essentially from the moment he was in the incident with Perry and the Dude. So OG's got rid of one problem, but immediately jumped himself into a considerably different problem. We'll see whether or not anything can change here. OG's got a little bit of daylight now, and Bodnian is the one going after Asseldor. Bodnian's probably the closest to an overtake right now. OG not close enough to Ross. Ross still in control in lap 19 of that second position. But yeah, we've got a clear Honey Badger in front, who is an entire sector in the lead now, or as effectively an entire sector in the lead of this race. No real problem in that one there for him at all. He could definitely have a significant spin here, Honey Badger, and still have complete control of this race at this point. At least I believe so anyway. Bodnian, however, is still trying to go after Asseldor, and still hasn't passed the test that he has been stuck on for the last at least 5 laps. Every time he seems to get closer and closer to passing this test, to making a move on Asseldor. Asseldor just closes the door, and he's done that again. Now they head down towards turn 1. They're out the final corner down towards turn 1, and the slipstream effect is going to go for Bodnian here. Bodnian is alongside ever so slightly. There's enough there. He's still got enough there. He's going to go to the inside here against Asseldor. And Asseldor is still in front. I have to wait for his car to actually catch up on the track. He is still in front. Bodnian has to wait another lap before attempting to pass this test. A test has definitely caused him a ton of anguish here in this race so far. I feel like Bodnian is probably hoping he could get himself a top at the very least, a podium. Is trying to force something in terms of the championship, but nope. Asseldor has been a thorn in his side. OG also very much clear, and Ross still in control of that second place as well. Ross has had a commendable drive in this one as well. Well, as soon as I say that, watch Ross do something incredibly stupid. So we're going through. Elian has also tagged himself back onto the battle here for third place. Currently a four-way battle. 5 if you want to include Ross, which you might have to do now because Ross is getting chased down by OG at a decent pace now. Let's see if OG can keep the car going for long enough. You can see in the sprint where he was having a bit of a struggle with his car on certain corners. That GTR not his friend at times, but Ross has honed in on that with that Porsche at this point in time. He knows what he's doing. He knows the job. He knows what he has to do. And it looked like we got Bodnian versus Asseldor yet again, and I think this is probably like round 6 of this battle down into turn 1, and it's another win for Asseldor. At this point, he's got to be like a lap away from landing a knockout punch on Bodnian here. Because Bodnian is all over him right now, but he's just not able to make that move stick. We're on lap 21. We are now almost into the 35th minute. Well, we are actually into the 35th minute, but yeah, it's got some time. I thought that was a penalty that popped up there, but no, it's just the red. Actually, it is a penalty. It's for Elian. Elian, 2-second penalty is a rather impressive feat. How do you get 2 seconds around here? What did you do? Here comes Bodnian to the outside here against Asseldor. Can he finally pass the test that has been bugging him for the entire race? Around the outside he goes. Can he hang it? No, he cannot. He's still behind Asseldor, and he's still unable to pass the Belgian. Here comes Bodnian, who's under fire now from Elian, and it's not really heavy fire, I'll say that much. As well, Elian's about to drop off with a 2-second time penalty. He's going to drop it in the direction of the dude rather than trying to fight these two. OG and Ross in front as well. I think OG is going against... Yeah, OG's going to go to the inside here, and I think Ross has just let him go. At this point, I think Ross just let him by. It's more self-preservation tactic, I think, but I'm not entirely sure. It's more than fine with where he is. I don't think Ross will be complaining with the podium whatsoever. And we've still got Asseldor versus Bodnian, and Bodnian's in the wall. Bodnian is in the wall, and the dude just gets a little bit of a nick off Bodnian here. Oh, and Turbo. Oh, Turbo Boy just straight to the back of Bodnian. Bodnian still on the racing line with a damaged engine. That is never a good sign. That is never a good sign. That is a sign that you have done something very wrong. And Turbo Boy now factored will go blazing right past Bodnian here, who's just finally got past his engine damage. Just in time for Perry and Tepos to try and get something here as well. Here goes Turbo Boy on our factored again. He takes 7th place back. We've got Asseldor. Well, he's a free man now. He doesn't have Bodnian hounding him as he has for the last 5 or 6 laps at the very least. And yeah, he's a free man. He's going to get himself 4th at the very least now, because he is in a world of his own. And no one anywhere near him. Ross is going after OG, and Ross is just also content just to sit where he is. And we're going to lap 23. We aren't that far from the end of this one. Probably a couple more laps in this race. And we'll see whether or not anything can come from it. But it doesn't look like an awful lot will come from this. This is just going to be OG driving away from Ross for a couple of laps now. Asseldor is just too far away to make anything work without mistake. Elian in the same boat as the dude who is also in his favourite position, his perennial 6th place. Turbo Boy in 7th. And our Baxter in 8th. Bodnian's 9th at the moment. There's Perry on the inside looking for that 9th place himself. Doesn't get it. Bodnian closes that door before it was ever opened. And Bodnian not willing to lose more than what he currently already lost. Because he obviously lost out in the death chicane. And when he was in comfortable position against Asseldorf really had a chance. Bodnian had a chance at Asseldorf for a long time. Could have got by. Could have been in 4th. Could have tried to go after Ross even. But it wasn't meant to be. The incident in the mistake in the dash chicane. Just the opposite of what Bodnian had in the sprint race. As we're currently watching Bodnian go against our Faxon, we're into the 39th. Well, we're into the 40th minute now. Here comes Bodnian on the outside. Well, inside of 1, outside of 2. Can he get it done? Nope. No, he cannot. Not unless he's going for a switchback. He's going to go for it. He's got his car alongside. And I think he's in front. He is in front. That is a decent switchback there from Bodnian. We saw one from OG earlier, and we just did a good one there. Good switchback there from Bodnian as well to stop our Faxon in his tracks and do a little bit of damage control on the end of this race. Here comes Perry on the inside of our Faxon now as well, and Perry is going to have to get a good exit, and does get that good exit and overtakes our Faxon as well. Our Faxon has gone from on the final lap being in 8th to, well, halfway through it and in 10th. And quite frankly, it wasn't a fault of his own. The 2 guys that overtook him just did a really good move. And here we go, unchallenged the entire way through. Had reverse grid pole. I was never to be stopped. Honey Badger wins the feature in Dragon Trail, and there's nobody within a mile of him at all. Here comes OG, who's going to go around the final corner. He's got a contentious steward decision to make to be a part of later on, but gets 2nd on the track. Ross gets 3rd. Asseldorf will take 4th. Leon will take 5th, and Dude is going to do his best thing that he does, his favourite thing that he does every single race without fail for some godforsaken reason, and ends 6th again. And Turbo Boy just about beats out Bodnian over the line for 7th, Bodnian 8th, Perry 9th, Alfaxon 10th in the end, Tepos 11th, Nectar 12th, and Mortal will round out the bunch in 13th and past the DNF'd early into the race. There we go. There we go, Mortal across the line. Just driving himself over what has been a very, very bad day for him, and a very, very bad day to lose ground on the title. A title that was once in his control, no longer in his grasp. And he's going to have to put in some work to get it back, because I'm pretty sure at the end of Dragon Trail, it wasn't one Viper on top. It wasn't the Viper that started the season on top. But it is Dude's Viper that leads us through 4. And I don't know how, given that he's come 6 like 5 times in 8 races, but that's also beside the point. But with that was fun. I hope everyone enjoyed it. I hope everyone enjoyed it that watches it later on and wasn't able to make the stream. But until that point, I'll probably see you guys, well, if you watch F1, I'll see you guys in 10 minutes. If you don't, I'll probably see you guys tomorrow morning. Until then, in a bit.